So Medina shares here, there's an Indian lady on YouTube. She's been mentioned in our Zoom session in the past. She calls the Kundalini process, Kriyas, and so on, a Kundalini disturbance, and that we are not actually supposed to feel Kundalini and these effects. What's your personal thoughts and opinion on this? Yeah, so there's many different paradigms to look at this through. In some cases, if we look at, say, the original teachings of Hatha Yoga, the body is prepared, the system is prepared quite intensely prior to the major awakening and rising of Kundalini towards the head. So because the body is prepared with meditation, with certain diets, with a certain lifestyle, you're practicing Hatha Yoga with ideally a guru who has already gone through this process. So you're prepared in a very smooth, easy way. You're given proper context. You're operating in an ethical manner, right? As a yogi, you've taken, the certain precepts, vows, right? You're not taking on a lot of karma or conditioning per se. You're doing this work. After a certain point of preparation, then you begin to awaken Kundalini and draw it upwards, right? With skill that you've developed. In those cases, ideally, if the preparation has gone well, you won't experience incredible disturbances. You won't experience a whole difficult dark night of the soul. You won't experience confusion. You won't experience resistance to the process because this is what you've been preparing for. You have the guidance of a guru who's walked, every step of the way with you. You've been operating in an ethical manner, knowing that this is preparing you for spiritual transformation. So by operating in an ethical manner, you haven't really accumulated all sorts of emotional stuff, right? You've taken some sort of escape from society and from other people, and you're doing this sort of in isolation in an ashram or a temple or a cave or whatever it is. So you don't have all the baggage from other people. You don't have a romantic relationship where, people are traumatizing you and breaking your heart and, you're trying to keep them happy and all this. You don't have any of that. So there's not so much to come up to be released and disturb your sense of peace. Generally speaking, I'm speaking in a very broad generalization there. Compare that type of context for somebody like, say, myself. I'm here, no idea about Kundalini. I'm doing psychedelics. I'm exploring meditation. I'm not operating in an ethical manner. I'm consuming alcohol, right? I'm in relationships, dysfunctional. Then this Kundalini awakening happens, and my whole body's tripping out because there was no preparation. I had all sorts of emotional issues, my context wasn't right. I had no guidance, so I'm afraid of the process. I'm confused. I don't know what's happening to me. Of course, I'm going to be disturbed, right? So that's what I think is going on here when some people say, hey, you're not supposed to be freaking out with Kundalini. It's supposed to be very calm and gradual. I think, yeah, ideally, if you've been practicing with somebody who knows what they're doing and prepared you accordingly, then in those cases, yeah. However, some people take that idea and they apply it to everybody. They say, no, Kundalini, it's only smooth. It's only easy. So what you're going through, you're just something wrong with you. Or that's not Kundalini, that's something else. I don't think that's what's going on here, actually. I think we are experiencing a valid Kundalini awakening. We're just experiencing it in a context that is not supportive or conducive of it. We haven't been properly prepared. That's why it looks very different than how it could look. But we have to deal with the awakening that we've been given. Many of us, it happens to us spontaneously. We didn't go and seek this out. It just started happening to us, and we've got to accept it as it comes. Eventually, you will come to a point where you don't feel disturbed by this. You feel quite peaceful and you've made sense of the process, but it takes some time. It takes some time. So it's an interesting time in our culture, right? So many people are going through this and getting quite disturbed. But once the genie comes out of the bottle and it's awakened, we have to work with it. We have to work with it.